The obstacle is the way. You are listening to The Competitor's Brain. This is Lauren Fox, and this is episode number 33. Now, I think I've recorded this, or at least recorded the intro 7 times. So the intro, apparently, for me, is the obstacle. But we're talking about Marcus Aurelius today. And Marcus is one of the 5 good Roman emperors. And we don't know when he would have written what we're about to talk about. But what we do know is that he wrote it down. It was something that was taken from some of the pioneers of Stoic philosophy. And we don't know the context. We don't know what made him write it. But regardless, it's relevant. It's relevant today. So what he says is, our actions may be impeded, but there can be no impeding our intentions or dispositions, because we can accommodate and adapt. The mind adapts and converts to its own purposes the obstacle to our acting. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Now, what does this have to do with sports? And what does this have to do with truly anything related to sales? It's, when you think about it, it becomes completely obvious. What does everybody want to do? And I'm going to use the context of baseball. When we're in practice, everybody wants to do the fun thing. The fun thing generally is hitting. Everybody, from little kids all the way up, that's what people want to work on. They want to work on hitting. And good hitters want to work on hitting. The complete players are the players who may be doing well hitting, may have a grasp of what they need to do. Their mechanics feel great. But they also may realize, man, I'm not too good at turning the double play, or I'm not too good at blocking balls in the dirt, or I'm not too good at sticking a low pitch. And what they're doing is taking the obstacle, their inability to do something else within the game, and working hard on that one specific thing until it becomes something that they are able to do. So you work on, for example, blocking pitches in the dirt. That's a lot of work. It's not glamorous work by any stretch, but it's the kind of thing, it is a skill that you can gain. It is not a talent that you are born with, although some people are born doing it better than others. It is a skill that can be learned, and it's learned by hard work. It's learned by fault correction, and it's learned by a belief in the ability that you can do it, that you can stop the ball as it's coming to you. And when it hits the dirt and takes a funny spin, well, you're on top of it. You have the ability to use your body, redirect the ball. But it is the kind of thing that you can learn and you can become very good at. And it may have been an obstacle at one point. Over time, it becomes the way. It becomes a way that you can differentiate yourself from other players, because we all know this. And the same thing goes with sales. The obstacle becomes the way. What's the obstacle? Generally in sales, picking up the phone. If you can get good at picking up the phone, you are going to become a better salesperson than other people will. The reason for that is you'll get the reps. You'll get day in and day out time speaking to people on the phone, figuring out what their concerns are about the product, figuring out what they like about the product, figuring out where you're hitting the mark, where you're missing the mark. And again, the obstacle of picking up the phone, of getting feedback from your customers, of learning why something wasn't working for them. Now, all of a sudden, that becomes the way to a better widget, better product, whatever you are trying to sell. But that's the key. And the obstacle often is the thing that we don't want to do. And we're all like this. We gravitate to the things that we're good at because we're good at them. And it's fun to do things that you're good at. It's fun to do things that you have mastery of. But truly, the way to get better and the way to gain mastery is by working on the things that you stink at. And we've all seen it. You start at something, you're brand new, square one. You have a learning curve. It's pretty steep. You get mastery to a point pretty quickly. Then once you get to a point that you have to have that fine mastery of things, of little things, because you might think you're the only one who can hit a baseball 400 feet. There are a lot of people who can hit a baseball 400 feet, but are you the only one who can drop a dime to second base? Are you the only one who can block a ball in the dirt, recover, throw a guy out at second base? Those talents are valuable, and those talents are things that you can learn over time. So what the obstacle is the way means is it might feel like that's something that's holding you back, but ultimately it is the kind of thing that once you master it, once you put in the work, it can propel you forward.